Welcome to the Prophecy Club. As you know, we just completed our 2021 Sevenfold Miracle Crusades. And for the next several broadcasts, I'm going to be playing audio from that crusade. Now, I'm going to repeat about the first 5 minutes of this from yesterday's broadcast, but the rest of it you have not heard. So we're going to continue listening to How to Spot the Beast Early. The team extrapolated that the same calculations would have taken the world's most powerful computer system more than 10,000 years to complete. Did you catch that? So it's about 10 million times more energy efficient, not to mention. The Alliance had to intervene with off-world, or more correctly, other dimensional technologies to deliver us Earthlings the super technologically advanced monetary system. Here's the summary. Well, I actually did that, so I'll move on. What you're looking at there, that is a quantum computer chip. Let's go to cell phones. Cell phones are not your friend. Okay, so let's summarize where we are. We know the mark of the beast is coming, so no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark of the name of the beast and the number of his name. That means somehow they've got to be able to be between the buyer and the seller in that exchange of money and product, right? Okay, how do you do that? Oh, well, wait a minute, I got an idea. Let's put up a whole new satellite system. Let's tell everybody that this is going to give you really fast internet. Then let's give them quantum computers. Let's hook in the quantum computers to that system. Now, how do we hook into that system? Well, it used to be that back in the 70s and the 80s, 90s, we were suspecting that they were going to be putting a chip under the back of our skin. And that chip was going to link with the satellite, and they were going to be able to track every one of us. That's what us prophecy students, we were warning people about that. Guess what? We don't have to put the chip under our skin. You're already carrying the chip. The cell phone is not your friend. I'll show you. Mexico National Biometric Registration of Mobile Phone Users proposes, and it goes on to say it wants to create a national register of mobile telephone users storing biometrics. You see that word? Say biometrics. In other words, what are biometrics? It's our fingerprint. But what else? What is another print that comes from this? Not just fingerprint, vein prints. Fingerprints, vein prints, face prints, and voice, all in your cell phone. It goes on to say they want to give everybody an official national identification number, biometric data, and population registration, or a CURP number. Sounds great, doesn't it? That way, we could get rid of all those bad people that steal money from us, or turn it all over to the bad people that really steal the money. Go on to the next article. Biometric facial recognition hardware present in 90% of the smartphones by 2024. They're saying that the next upcoming phones, they're going to be putting this facial biometric recognition system in those phones. In other words, a future cell phone is going to be your enemy. Another article says that they've already come up with in-display fingerprint sensors in IRS. Let me wrap back up. Too much IRS on me today. Iris biometrics capturing. What's it saying? It's saying in substance that one day a future generation cell phone is going to come up with, and the front and the back of the phone are always going to be active. And as you handle your cell phone, can someone hand me my cell phone there? Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Now, right now on the front of my cell phone, it has a picture of me and one of my wonderful grandchildren. If I touch that screen, as you know, I can change the screen, right? It's okay? Try to imagine this screen and the back screen are always active, always reading your fingerprints and your vein prints. So how accurate is that as you touch your phone? No question. They know who's touching it, right? Try to also imagine that the camera, both this camera this way and a camera this way, are always on. You can't turn them off. See, right now there's things in your phone. I like to say this. My Apple phone is owned by me. I own the hardware, but Apple owns the software. Do they not? They go in and they update it. They don't ask me if I want to update it. They're just updated. And if you don't update it, after a while, your phone's useless. So they really control your phone. So we've got a phone. The front is always active. The back is always active. Now let's make the camera always active. You can't turn it off. Front and back, phone, maybe, and then put it on the side too. And guess what is also active? Microphone. Can't turn it off. So it is constantly reading our face print, our voice print, our fingerprint, our vein print. So would this phone know who is holding it? Now, this phone then connects up to, it's just the internet, it's a fast internet. Or it's really connecting to the QFS. So now let's get rid of all of that paper money that's distributing. We found that the paper money is distributing the virus. That's kind of like fleas distributed the virus back in the whatever, bubonic plague days. So we got to get rid of all that currency. Now we have to go to a digital currency. And did you know you can pay for a lot of things with your cell phone right now? I went into, what was the name of some Texas something or other barbecue place that had a steak, what do you call it? Texas Roadhouse. And they had this little QR code. Do you know what a QR code is? Okay. You modern people, you. So I was shown, okay, I said, what is this? Well, that's our menu. How do I do it? He said, well, you just aim your camera at the menu and you just push that, but sure enough, boom, the menu come right up on my phone, right there. Guess what you can also do with your phone? You can pay from your phone. Go into an Olive Garden, and how do you pay? Have you seen the signs that says, we don't take change? We don't take coins anymore? What are they telling us? They're telling us they're moving from this to this, digital. So this all links into the satellite. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Now, only us old folks are going to say, this doesn't sound right. Most of the younger generation, they're going to love it. It's the latest thing. We follow all of the latest things. We like the virus, we like the mask, we take the vaccine. Whatever you tell us to do, we do it, right? Okay, so here's what we see in the future. You walk into the grocery store, you didn't have to stop and tell them you're there. Because when you pulled into the parking lot, the satellite system that can track you within a few feet already knows you're there. You walk in and you pick up things, you toss them into your cart. Oh no, Stan, that's old school. You don't do it that way. How do you order things from the grocery store now? And it comes to your front door. Or you can pick it up, right? Us old folks are coming into the new modern system, see? Okay, so you're tracking it. Everything you pay for is all digital, like it's almost, if you go to Amazon, how do you pay for it? Credit card or debit card, PayPal, or they can take it right out of your account. Credit card's going bye-bye. Driver's license, passport, all of that paper stuff, this is going to be your everything. Police stops you, they don't have to ask you for your driver's license anymore. They know who they're stopping as you drive by, right? Matter of fact, it may be that all of a sudden they just stop saying, we're not going to stop you anymore. That's too dangerous. We're just going to mail you a ticket. Oh, they'll never do that. They're already doing it, right? There's more. I'm going to skip some of this. So the camera, the microphone, and the front and the back of the screen is always on. It's always taking video, audio, and fingerprints. It loads them like in a cloud. It never deletes them. Records, everything said and done within microphone distance is all recorded. So you want to buy something that all comes through your cell phone. Oh, I lost my cell phone. No problem. It'll find it. Well, somebody else might find it and steal all my money. They can't, because it's reading their face with like 1 million dots per inch. It's getting their fingerprints, your vein prints, your voice, your everything. If they lose your phone, it's useless to them. They can't access your system. It's absolute, positive, 100% identification. Oh, well, that means that no one can steal your money. It also means at what time they decide they're going to say you're going to take the mark, or you're going to be cut off from the system, you'll be cut off. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? Okay. Never deletes them, records everything said within microphone distance, sees everything the finger and the video face include, cannot be turned off when the phone is on. I've been in conversations where people said, all right, everybody take your cell phones out of your pocket and give them to me, and they were walked into another room. and it's going to start a whole lot more. Vein prints. According to a report, Amazon is working on a new cell phone using 3 biometrics with 100% accurate identification. The face of the cell phone is always reading the finger and the palm prints of the user. As soon as the cell phone is touched, it reads your fingerprints at present up to 1/1000th of an inch. That's 100% accurate, but it's about to go to 1,000,000. The next generation phone will read finger. I already said that. The camera will be using artificial intelligence to read your face to 100% accurate. The camera is always monitoring your faces around it. All right, let's go on. It's not this stuff. It's this stuff. 1,000,000 points of recognition. This book explains, I got to keep moving. Get the book, get the book. So now the trap is set. So what is in the trap? So let me explain the trap. Okay, there's what we believe there are 9 forms of deception that are about to be heaped upon the world. One is the face of God. So we've got 44,000 satellites up there that are talking to each other and talking to the ground, all by lasers. So we know they all have lasers. So I want you to try to imagine the mark of the beast has been distributed, and this eloquent man we call the beast comes on, most beautiful, handsome man with a wonderful speech, and he says, today or tonight I'm going to prove to you that I am God. I'm going to speak to everyone around the globe. So that night in the clouds, what we see is these low Earth orbiting satellites all turn on, and we see this great big face of God in the sky. And then he says, I'm going to make fire come down out of the sky. It could be laser or something like that. Now to us, we'd say, that's just laser. But to most people on the globe, especially the uneducated ones, they won't see it. We're talking about laser technology. This is low quality holograms. These are high quality holograms. It's not really a person, it's really a hologram. Try to imagine holograms this accurate coming down from face, saying, this is my son in whom I'm well pleased, but it's Lucifer. Fire comes down out of the sky, like the Bible says. I want you to look at this picture. Now this was caused by forest fires in California. What's wrong with that? That's right, you see trees in the background. How is it that the trees didn't get burned? I don't know. I meant to look up what temperature alloy aluminum melts at, 1,200 degrees. Okay, so how do we get 1,200 degrees to hit a car and not burn the plants around it? Obviously, somebody, someplace has some kind of a laser weapon that is powerful enough to melt the wheels on the car. Look at that. Here's another example, lasers hitting the ground. Actually, a lot of examples. Here's another thing. Have we seen strange weather with hurricanes hitting one after another? Did we not see zero? I mean, I've lived in Texas most of my life. I've never seen zero temperature. And if it did ever get down that long, it wasn't there for about a few hours. We've always said, well, we have snow once in a while, but you better look quick because in a couple hours it's gone. We had snow stay around for 3 or 4 days, as you know, here just a month or so ago. This is lightning in a hurricane. They haven't had lightning in a hurricane ever before, except for modern times. I believe, that this is actually HAARP, High Altitude Auroral Research Project, or scalar wave, able to bring fire down out of sky. So, the face of God comes in the night and tells you that this man, whatever his name is really God. Now let's go to the next deception. So, did you hear recently that they have just discovered some new caves down at the Dead Sea? Some more Dead Sea Scrolls, and now they're going through those scrolls. So what if the archaeology deception says that somehow they find some kind of underground caverns. And in those caverns, they find some amazing new scrolls. And guess what they're going to say? The Bible is not true. Jesus is not true. There is going to be attacking everything that is Christian. This article is talking about these new Dead Sea Scrolls. I'm going to skip through the article. You got the point here. This is some of the underground. I've actually been in underground places like this. Back when I used to call on companies, I think, what's the name of the city just outside of Kansas City? I forget the name of it. But they've got enough underground square feet for the entire population of Kansas City to go underground down in these salt mines. Amazing. So try to imagine that they've discovered this underground cavern. And in this case, by the way, this was discovered because this man wanted to widen his house. So he knocked out a wall in the garage, and all of a sudden, this is what he found. It's an ancient city that no one had lived in for like 600 years. Of course, that's a cave. I've already covered that, so I'm going to move on. Now let's talk about the rapture deception. So we've got fire coming down out of the sky. We've got this guy putting his face in the clouds, and then with 44,000 satellites with lasers on them, able to make visions in the sky. Now CNN, the bastion of all truth, comes on and says, you know what? It's true. It's true. Because last night, a bunch of people left the earth. And so all of a sudden, this is what we see. We see people going up. We actually see them going up in the clouds. And it's actually a deception. It's actually the lasers from the Starlink system making it appear people are going up. Now, that's not going to bother us. We're going to be able to sit there and say, nah, Prophecy Club told us about this a long time ago. We're not going to. But most people, what are they going to say? Absolutely. Now, what does that do to their faith? Wait a minute. That's right. What? God. Yeah. I was supposed to go. You remember? I mean, my pastor told me I was going to go, you know. And so what do? Then they get mad at God. They go through several different emotional phases. They get mad at God. Then they get mad at the pastor. They go beat the pastor. They go burn the church. But then what do? Then they say, you know what? I'm going to take that mark of the beast. And they are the ones that are the worst ones. They're going to come after us because they're mad at God. They're mad at Christians, and they're going to report and turn in every Christian they possibly can. I'm going to skip that. Now let's go to the creation deception. Back in Prophecy Club started in 1993. About 1994, I was playing a series of programs on the radio. We were just local at the time in Topeka, Kansas, and I was playing about aliens. And I answered the phone in those days and got a phone call. This guy says, all right, I'm not going to tell you anything, but I will answer your questions. He says, I used to be really high up in the government. And he says, I know lots of secrets. And he says, I'll answer your questions. I said, okay. Area 51. He said, yeah, I've been all through it. I said, they got aliens there? He said, some alive, some dead. I said, they got anti-gravity flying saucers there? He said, yeah, some our government has made, some from other worlds. He said, see, you don't know anything unless it's at least 25 years old. He said, because the underground facilities have unlimited money and they have the very best minds on the planet. And he said, they're at least, this is back in 94, they're at least 25 years ahead of any laboratory on the planet. He said, you don't know anything unless it's 25 years old. He said, the reason I can talk to you is because I have a laser. It's like about the size of a pencil. It has 2 pen-light batteries. He said, but it's real powerful. And he said, I aim that at their eyes and it'll blow their eyes out, permanently blindness. They know I have it and they don't mess with me. So I'll answer your questions. I'm not going to tell you anything, but I'll answer your questions. I said, okay. What's the deepest, darkest secret they got? What's the bottom of the barrel? What's the thing they don't want to come out more than anything? And he said, to give life. He said, creation. He said, they're working on making human life. And I said, well, what's something that they're already doing down in the underground facilities that we don't know about on the surface? He said, okay, successful human head transplants. Let me say it again. Successful human head transplants. Old technology. Successful human head transplants. So that might explain why some of these evil people continue to live. It's like, man, we need this one to die off. we need to get rid of this one really bad, but they keep living. The point is, so what if they really have come up with a clone? What if they have come up with a half man, half alien? What if they'll come up with a half man, half computer? What kind of things are they talking about? So the creation deception says, which I've kind of already explained, so I'll skip that. He has power to give life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause, as many who would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on the right hand or on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark of the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now let's talk about the miracle deception. So God's miracle proof got hijacked. In other words, right now, the thing that God has used back in the days of prophets especially, like, God said he did special miracles through Paul to prove his word. John 4:48 says, except ye see signs and wonders, ye not believe. God also bearing them witness both with signs and wonders of divers miracles. And shall show great signs and wonders, skipping down in the green, the working of Satan with all power, signs and lying wonders. But in the last days, God is going to give the beast, the false prophet, power to work the same kind of miracles. The thing that proved Elijah was worshiping the correct God was when fire from heaven came down and burned up the sacrifice. But in the last days, the false prophet, when he's in the presence of the beast, is going to be able to do the same thing, pull down fire from heaven on the face of the earth in front of all men. There's going to be all kinds of lying signs and wonders. So when we see miracles take place on the earth, it's not going to be just God doing them. We're going to see miracles from both sides. It's going to be a real preach-off. It's going to be a real miracle battle. Battle of miracles, maybe the way you can say it. Now, the next thing is the alien deception. So try to imagine a time when the aliens actually come down and land on, say, the White House lawn, and they get out, pop the hatch, and say, blessed be the name of the Lord. No, they're probably not going to say that. But they're going to be coming, they're not going to stop. They're not going to land and say, we're super evil, we worship Lucifer. And they're not going to say that. What are they going to say? We are going to help you. Matter of fact, have you heard of med beds? Few people have. I did a little research in it. I decided not to dig into it too deeply, but essentially it's a bed that you lay in, and over the process of 3 minutes, they can make you live forever. They can make you young again, make your hair go back, wrinkles disappear, teeth reappear, all in this med bed. In other words, all kinds of amazing technology. So they bring us all of this wonderful technology, and then after they've got us swallowing it, hook, line, and sinker, they say, you know what? We got to talk about something else. You guys believe in this Bible stuff, man? That is old, ancient stuff. Let me tell you the real truth. And guess what they're going to say? We got this guy. He's the real man God, the beast. And they're going to point to the beast. That could be the alien deception. I'm going to skip through the writing there because I just kind of told you what it's saying. Also, say 6,000 suppressed patents and amazing inventions are finally going to be released. Advanced technology, telepathic behavior modifications, anti-gravity, free energy, cancer cures, an injection that can correct the defects in your body, is specifically your DNA giving you eternal life. That could be the med beds. Don't be fooled. Don't go into this. And I think one of the last ones we're talking about is superhuman deception. Revelation 9:6 says that men shall seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. What's going on? Obviously, they've had some kind of enhancement. Not there yet. There's another scripture, I believe it is Joel 2:7. I don't think it's 2:7. Anyway, it says that they will fall on a sword and not be wounded. Now, either there's some kind of a coating where they can run on a sword and the sword won't go through the coating, or what I believe, the sword goes in and they pull it out and they have instant healing. Because a lot of times, what does that say? 10 minutes? Okay, all right, I'll be done. A lot of times the Hollywood tells us their plans in their movies and things like, for example, what are the talents of Wolverine? Why, he has instant healing. And what was the Hulk looking for when he had a bad experiment and turned green? Instant healing. And then the Spider-Man, what is the abilities of Spider-Man? Well, it was actually several abilities because they had, I think it was 7 spiders. The one spider bit him, and then he had all of these new abilities. I think that all of that is a subtle attempt at getting us prepared for a new body that only the people that take the mark of the beast can have. All of this is actually all of this is talked about in this particular book, Miss the Mark. All of this, I've given you a brief overview of that book. That's in Miss the Mark. It's a quick, fast, easy read. I believe you can read it probably in the ballpark of 3 hours. How many people have read it? Oh my goodness. So I was talking to the choir? Preaching to the choir? Okay. The people that just raised your hand, how long does it take a person to read it typically? 3 hours? Okay, about 3. It's a quick read. Quick read. Not complicated, very down to earth, very real world. Would you agree with me? You can give it to a sinner or to a friend. And if they'll read the book, they will never take that mark of the beast. Would you agree? People who read it? They'll never take that mark of the beast. So that's the power in the book. It's 1 for $20, but don't do that. I think we offer 10 for $30. Well, why? Because we want to give you 9 copies to give away. Basically, you're buying 1 copy, and then you got another 9 copies for $1 or so to give away. Then this book is the granddad. This is the one to make a prophecy student out of you. If you want to teach prophecy, if you want to be able to talk to a pastor that think they know prophecy and not be knocked off of your soapbox, so to speak, this is the book you want to read. I have people come up, which, by the way, we're about to have a book signing back there. I have people come up and they have underlines, they have highlights. This book is worn out. One guy said, I've read it 3 times. I carry it with me every place. Because this is not a one-time read through, oh, that was interesting. This is a book that you'll probably carry with you for the rest of your life to help you understand Bible prophecy. In 2017, I memorized the book of Revelation. I was shown a secret door linking the feasts to the prophecies of Revelation. For the first time, the book of Revelation can be put in correct chronological order. You can understand Bible prophecy. We offer them in shrink-wrap sets of 5. 1 for $20, but don't do that. 5 for $35 or 10 for $60. What is the most important information to every beating heart on the globe? After accept Jesus, it would be don't take the mark of the beast. Those taking the mark of the beast do not get soul death, but are tormented in the lake of fire and brimstone for eternity. How do you tell them? Give them Miss the Mark. We offer them in shrink-wrap sets of 10. 1 for $20, 10 for $30, and 20 for $50 at prophecyclub.com. Over the past 32 years, I've collected the best 101 prophecies from Dimitri Duduman, Michael Boldea, Leslie Johnson, Henry Gruber, Shane Warren, Terry Bennett, Marie Sklar, Augusto Perez, Doug Metzger, and more. It's called God's Warnings for America. We offer them in shrink-wrap sets of 5. 1 for $20, but don't do that. 5 for $35 or 10 for $60. My new book is called Tribulation Secrets in Daniel because that's what it does. It shows you the part of Daniel you need to know, being you're about to be a tribulation saint, and will desperately need to know and understand about the last days you live in. We offer them in shrink-wrap sets of 10. 1 for $20, 10 for $30, and 20 for $50 at prophecyclub.com. In How Pre-Trib 1, I expose the dirty little secrets pastors don't want you to know, which is why sometimes they can't preach the truth, especially about the rapture. Then, using the secret door, I explain the truth about the rapture, and then I rebut 25 claims pre-tribbers use to prove pre-trib. You'll finally know the truth about the rapture. We offer it in shrink-wrap sets of 10. 1 for $20, but don't do that. 10 for $30, 20 for $50 at prophecyclub.com. That's prophecyclub.com. Here's the best deal we've ever offered at the Prophecy Club. 5 How Pre-Trib 1, 5 Tribulation Secrets in Daniel, 5 God's Warning to America, 5 Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, and 10 Miss the Mark, 40 books, gift of $100, prophecyclub.com. prophecyclub.com. Terry Sock of Cornerstone Asset Metals is a prophecy student, reads his King James Bible, and wants to help Prophecy Club win souls even if it means he loses money. I think that's the right attitude when someone values winning souls more than making money, and he's doing so by sponsoring Prophecy Club on radio. So, if you'd like to help win souls, the next time you need gold, silver, palladium, rhodium bars, or coins, contact cornerstoneassetmetals.com. They can help you roll over your IRA, 401k, so just tell cornerstoneassetmetals.com Prophecy Club sent you.